Lord, I guess I went and broke their family tradition. Get on me, want to know, Hank, why do you drink? Hank, why do you roll smoke? Why must you live out the song that you wrote? Over and over, everybody makes my prediction. So if I get stoned, I'm just carrying on an old family tradition.
Well, good morning, kiddos. Can you believe? Can you believe it's already January 29th, the morning of January 29th in the year 2013? Hell, we're 5 weeks beyond the end of the world as we know it, man. And I feel fine. Wow. Amazing stuff, isn't it? Here's old Grandpa Coyote coming to you once again here from this very refined place up here in the mountains of south central Colorado called Crestone. And it's not true that we keep our people in cages up here for the safety of the rest of the world, but you know, we do find ways to hamstring and restrict them for sure, you know, and make a lot of them into hermits. So you guys got to help me change that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of fine folks up here that are family, you know, in the tradition of spirit, and they know it, but they're just, you know, doing their work at home, trying to expand outward from inward, and that's a good thing, but there's a time also when you step outward with your inward and get busy with the family and carry on the tradition that we've held through the generations. You see, there's a lot of unseen things in this life. And the spirit family, the core family as I call them, the original family, is one of them. These are beings and souls that have been in and out of this existence since its very beginnings. You know, and we're the very beginnings of it. The original people, if you will. And the story's not exactly like it's told in the legends, and we'll get around to telling you that sometime when it's appropriate. But this family is like, well, there's a core group of about 14 beings. And the number can vary a little bit. Now, I'm a little hazy on exact numbers, but it's around 14. And then there's a larger group. It's around 140,000, you know. And these are the beings, the souls that are essential to humanity for its continued survival. These beings keep rotating in and out because they are the beginnings and they are the completion of this little experience we call time. And this little terrarium we call Mother Earth. Not exactly terrarium, yet it is, you know. It's part of the dynamic matrix, the illusion in which we live. Which is why there can be so much going on here that's unseen, unknown, yet it's still there. It's because we already live at a level of illusion, so there can be other illusions beneath and above that illusion, you know. I mean, there can be different aspects of the illusion. You see what you see in the moment you're seeing it. That's why some of us actually travel back in time and go and undo traumatic effects in our lives, so that we can not only survive the trauma that usually comes from unseen effects, but get on with our lives in a more healthy way. You know, correcting energies in the past gives you a far better present, I'll tell you. Making peace with your past is an important part of the process here of awakening in general and just coming into the presence of your being. You know, the connections you feel with Spirit now, those who are of this essential family, we'll get back to talking about you here in a sec, but the connections that you feel are far stronger than the rest of humanity, what they're feeling. They got it too, but just in a different way, at a different level. See, because you're original, because your cosmic makeup has been brought back together in this lifetime from all the generations of the past in which you lived, and all of that energy has been combined in one life, then you're very powerful. And you kind of you are the rulers of humanity. What that means is those by which humanity is measured. What you do is humanity's flow. What you establish, the rest follow through on. That's how that kind of works. You don't tell anybody what to do. You don't sit on a big old throne and make commands and creations. You create with your heart. You move ahead and set the pace, break the trail. Open up the energy field so we can let go of this life of slavery and get on with being the love, the truthful love that we are. So making peace with your past is a very big part of that. And if you need to go back there again and again to get it right, do it. Because each time you go back there, you're going to see a little different level, a little different aspects, and some of the darkest moments that you could imagine, that you've lived through, that you're beginning to become conscious of, and it seems a little scary at times, man. It tends to really piss you off, bring back the rage that you inherited there, so on and so forth. But it's a purifying thing, babies. Let yourself rock on through it and do so with this great love in your heart. Go there before even these bad things happen and talk to yourself and say, look, kiddo, some badass things are coming your way, but look at me, here I am, you, way out there many years in the future, and son of a gun. I'm healthy, happy, moving along on my path. Things are working. So don't worry about it, kiddo, you're going to make it. Something like that. Go back and talk to yourself before this stuff happens. And it'll give you some peace. I mean, that's just one little way of undoing it. There's a gazillion others. But do that. Experience the time travel inside. Go there. Don't let the past drag you down. If it is, then son of a gun, get back there and do something about it. Look at it differently. See if you can't find the reality in which you live, because there behind all the illusions, all that's unseen, is the smiling face of reality, the love that creates, that is us all. Not just this specter of a family, but everyone, everything that lives. This family thing, the original beings, they've come back again and again throughout the generations and put in service to lower and raise and elevate now the consciousness of humanity. Just like how we have to go and find little moments in our life where we've been traumatized and then make peace with them before we can be fully present here. Well, it's just like that with time. And throughout time, there's all these little places. I'm talking about the generations of humanity now from that perspective. There's all these little places where certain things had to happen. Certain energies had to go this way, and events had to go that way, and memories had to be changed this way in order for it to come out this way. You see, we've engineered our way through it from the heart. And any time we've made little mistakes, we've been able to go back and undo the effect by planting members of the original family into those moments and changing them just a little bit. And it changes the whole outcome. And that's what we're doing right now while we're moving into this planetary ascendancy. And by the way, speaking of planetary ascendancy, there's a lot of information coming at you off the internet and YouTube and everywhere else that's like really out there. There's communication with beings that call themselves ETs and seem to have some kind of superior attitude. Well, again, this is just another level of the illusion. There's nothing to be afraid of here, but understand that many of the beings who channel this stuff have been taken over by the unseen agents of darkness and are feeding you a whole lot of disinfo along with a whole bunch of poetic truths. So take it for what it's worth. You know, don't get all hung up on these beings that seem so powerful, these archangels and these ETs, these Pleiadians and Syrians and Orinians and all the rest of them. I mean, you know, take it for what it's worth. Some of it is absolute trash and should be thrown out with the garbage right now. You know, I mean, some of it's that blatant, but you know, this ascendancy comes because we've engineered it to be. There's no stopping it now. You know, it's been assured, an assurance for humanity since way back when we begun. But there were events that fell into place in 1994 that made it a virtual reality. All we have to do is step into it, grow into it, in other words. And we are the human heart. In the way that this essential family, this original family here, kind of carries the energy for humanity and helps us pull on through, well, in that same way, humanity does it for the rest of the universe. We're their beautiful children. We're their heart's delight. We're the ones that took on the grunt and the groan and the sweat and the toil to pull everyone else through. And our consciousness, you know, is essential to life throughout the galaxies and universes. We contain that original energy from what everybody calls the Big Bang. Oh my. We could talk about that sometime too. But because humanity is that, it comes from the center part of the glowing orb that's life, you know, the waves, the golden rays, you know, because we come from those essential places. We're the trailblazers too, as humanity. And the animals and the plants and trees and so forth that live here, the fishes of the sea, all of it. We're a level of consciousness that literally creates. We set the pace for all of creation. We're kind of like at its center. That's why symbolically we've kind of moved through the center, come to the center of the universe as Mother Earth and this little solar system around her, Earth and her sun. Yeah. Babies, you rock. I don't care what your station is in life. You're feeling it. And if you're of this original family, then in this unseen way, you're feeling it far stronger than any others. And this day, January 29, is kind of a turning point for you. Because you're going to finish with some old energies and you're just going to walk ahead as at least half of what you are and be gaining the rest of it really fast. And this is a significant change because you ain't had but 1 or 2, maybe 3%. So understand the significance of this step. It's not like blowing your nose. This is like going in the restroom and taking a long, healthy one. This is a big change. God, guys, I love you. But just know, no matter what you've been through, you know where you're going, and you know where it all leads, and on that basis alone, you can bless it and let it go and be at peace with it, no matter what it is. And I don't care how strung out you are right now or how unstrung you may be. We all have our little addictions and habits that cover up and soothe over our old wounds. We're all dealing with them, even right to this minute, because there's one wound in us all that for some reason we're having a little difficulty of letting go of. But I think today's the day we might do that. Don't you? I mean, who needs to live in pain? I mean, you know, well, we did. We needed to or we wouldn't have done it. But there's also time to be done with it. And this is that time. And this is that place here on Mother Earth. And these are the people that are doing it, spread across the earth, baby. We're rocking in every tribe and nation there is. You know, this original family, man. You won't believe the cosmic collection that shows up here in Crestone and other places like it, man, alive. It's like, we're different, babies, you know. We reflect one another in very odd and beautiful ways, but we're different. Stand out in the crowd even when you try not to. You know what I mean? You want to just sit there and have a little peace, and you know, people mob you because you stand out in the crowd. More or less. I mean, that's a metaphorical representation of what's really going on. Not like you're a rock star. Well, some of you are. And by the way, I need some help, rock star buddies. You know, I'm in it up to my eyeballs over here in Crestone, and it's your turn to come and give us a hand. Let's get this rock and roll medicine show on the road. Would you please come give me a little hand with that? Anyway, oh, wow. And we got a new feature I'm thinking about doing, and, you know, give me a little feedback here and on Facebook, and let's see if it'll fly. I'm not sure, you know, about it, but I got this cool little house out here in Crestone, Colorado, and I was thinking, you know, it's kind of empty without y'all. So maybe I should start bringing some of you here for the weekend, and we should, you know, do a little soul journeying and searching around and comparing past lives and so forth, and just have a good old time. Perhaps the energy would be strong enough here if we kept the numbers small, you know, between 6 and 12 people. The energy would be strong enough that you'd walk forward from here completely transformed yet again. Who knows? At the very least, you would feel a whole lot better about yourself. And it'd be a fun weekend, and, you know, Grandpa would cook for you a little bit, and, you know, I do some pretty good country cooking, babies. And, you know, we could just really have a good time of heart-opening communication. You know, in a comfortable environment where you feel safe and secure. You know there isn't going to be any interference with your process. And you can do it with others that are similar nature to you. I mean, it's like you will be finding your family here at the old Coyote Den. So get your bodies down here. I'll put it up as an event page or something on Facebook. I have certain designated weekends that I have open. And essentially you come here and you just pay me for a bed and breakfast kind of thing. Though I'll feed you 2 or 3 meals a day, whatever, you know. We'll make sure you're well taken care of, you know, and in fine countrified style too, you know. Housing would be kind of dormitory style, but spacious just the same. But, you know, we got a huge bedroom on the first level, and we put various bedding down there so we can accommodate a small group. So anyway, that would be the style of it. You can still have some privacy. We'll have some kind of privacy screen or something if that's what's necessary. You know what I mean. But that's the essential style of it. And it's going to cost somewhere between $150, $200 for a weekend. But like I say, it's going to be more than worth it. And of course, my hosting services and energetic guidance and stuff is without charge. Hell, you got gifts, and you just share them, especially with the family. Now, energetically, certain members of the family will be drawn to certain dates. I mean, it's just going to happen that way if this is going to work, which I think it will. But let's just see. You guys give me some feedback here, and like I say, on Facebook. And if there's sufficient interest, we'll do it. You know, might save all our bacon a little bit. Might help our progress a little bit. But at the very least, like I say, you'll leave here feeling refreshed and a whole lot better about yourself. Some of you might want to bring along an oxygen bottle because we live quite high up here in the mountains. I'm kidding about the oxygen bottle, but it is a high elevation, and it affects people differently. Some people, but I think you'll all be okay, especially once you step into the atmosphere here at the old Coyote Den. You'll be just fine. Okay? So, come on down and let's start hanging around. Also, coming up this summer, I think around June 1-5, we're going to do a little 3-day celebration, another intergalactic gathering. Well, I think we'll call it the Gathering of the Vibe Tribe, We're going to limit participation to 200 or 300 souls, and we're going to have some really good rock and roll music, a lot of good music, and a lot of fine folks there. So, if you feel so inclined, start making your plans now. It'll be a 3-day weekend. So I think it's 14, 15, 16, if I remember right, of June, but somewhere around in there, it's the 3-day spread. Begins on a Friday afternoon, ends on a Sunday afternoon. So that's basically it, It's the weekend before the solstice, so it's kind of a warm-up for the big turn. The big summer turn, So, babies, I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of your beautiful faces right here before me. This is going to be awesome, guys, these gatherings, both here at the Coyote Den and this summer out here in the beautiful wilderness we call life. Life. Love life. It's all the same. Love. This is a gathering of the people, a gathering of the heart, letting go, a setting free of all that's ever caused difficulty or troubles for us, bringing the unseen to be seen, and all the darkness and all the light, and just letting it be, correcting the effects, and of course ending the process we've been through that's been so gnarly and gritty, so be prepared, for some letting go even today. It's that time of life for all of us. I don't care if we're 3 or 300, somewhere in between there. We're all doing this about the same time, letting go, changing, turning around, coming back to our hearts, beginning to see, beginning to awaken, and loving every minute of it. Just like Grandpa loves you. So, babies, I'll talk to you again real soon. Here's to you. Rock and roll. It soothes your soul. And babies, we got the rock and gold. Man, we're doing her. Just hang in there, babes. It's almost there. And you're all ready. Love you guys. Talk to you in a bit.